Amazing. So we're a couple of minutes early. We're just seeing who's arriving. Let's make sure we're setting ourselves up for success. Give this a few minutes just while other people are starting to come in. This is the first day back from the Easter weekend. I definitely feel like it's the first day back at school. Good to see you guys coming in. Like, as I've said before, let's make sure we've got drinks available. Let's make sure we've got clean notepads and pens before we dive into this. I'm going to make sure I've got some pens in the pockets. Colin, great to see you again. Andy, thanks for being here. A few of the last people coming in. 30 more seconds. I'm watching the clock. 30 more seconds, and then we're going to dive into this. Going to cover some key things around your workspace, especially when you're working from home. There's going to be some key points here that you may not be thinking about. There's going to be some things that you might be thinking about, and we're going to try and tweak those and make them a little bit more clear for you, and take them up another level to really support you, so that you're getting the best out of the spaces that you're working in. Right, as I said, drinks, pens and papers. We will do questions through this. First of all, first question while we're waiting for any last couple of people to join in. Did everyone have a good Easter? Yes, we've got some yeses coming in. My question box is not working very well. Bear with me. Brill, thanks for asking, so I appreciate it. I had a glorious one. The weather here was phenomenal. We're down in Hastings and it was beautiful. For some reason, I can only see one question. It's doing weird things on my question box. So I may have some challenges with that later, but we'll work that out later. Yeah, so I spent a couple of days on the vegetable patch growing vegetables and tidying things up. Right, we're all here. I think this is good to go. We're going to go in, going to share some ideas. Welcome all. This is the Sticky Learning Lunches from Nathan Simmons here at MBM, Making Business Matter. We are the home, well, we are the leadership and soft skills providers to the UK grocery and manufacturing industry. And right now, while we're in this lockdown situation and we're working from home in these changing dynamics in this brave new world we're in, we're going to be sharing 20 minutes of learning with you every single workday for as long as you guys need it, and sharing some core concepts and leadership skills that are going to help you to be the best possible version of yourself while you can be while you're working in these new spaces. Bear with me. Just trying to fix some final elements of my question boxes because it's not playing the game. Right, guys, let's do this. I'm going to come off the screen share so you just got the background of me and dive into this. Come on, play the game. Right, we're good. We're live, we're in. So today what we're going to do is we're going to continue to focus on the mindset model. Last week we already picked up on managing some of our routines and certain elements of our working from home. We also talked about isolation, the symptoms of cabin fever. We talked about workwear, how to make sure you're dressing for where you are mentally and physically, and also talked about deliverables. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be focusing in now on our space and about how you can make sure that you're getting the most out of where you're working in the nicest possible way. We didn't choose to work from home. We're being forced into this space. What it's about is maximizing what it is you're doing, where you're working, and how that's working for you. So the first part, number one, he says, the spelling might be out, I think, association, we'll work that out later. The law of association. What does this mean? This means that when you do something and you build a habit over a course of time in a certain environment, you will start to associate that environment with that behavior. Often when people are being taught meditation, they're taught not to meditate while lying down in bed. Why? Open question to you guys. What's the one thing we do most of the time in our beds? And I say most of the time to make sure we keep the answers clean. In the chat boxes, what do we do? I'm having a terrible time technically with this. Sleep, exactly this. If you start to relax and you start to meditate and bring your breathing down, actually when you're laying in bed and starting to do this, the natural reaction and response is to fall asleep. Okay, this is a great meditation. However, you're not reaping the full benefits of focusing your attention on that. So when we're doing our work, we have to create a space that we can associate with our work. Now, depending on the environment you're living in, the space you've got available will depend on how you create that space. Okay, so one of the first things I'm going to recommend as an absolute categoric do and do not is don't, if you have the option, make that workspace in your bedroom. Okay, something I learned from homeschooling and working with children is very often as parents, and I know myself, and I'd love to hear from you guys, when we got home from school with our homework, we were told to go to our room to do our homework. So we were out of the way. What happened though is we started to associate that place where we're meant to be resting with doing the work. So either the work didn't get done because we were relaxing, or we weren't relaxing because we were too busy focusing on the work. We didn't create the divide for ourselves. This is the same for your work as well, working from home. Do not do that work in the bedroom if you have a choice. Go and create an individual space, whether it's in the corner of your lounge or the corner of the kitchen or at the edge of the dining room, whatever it is. Separate the spaces out. So it might be that if you do have a dining room area, that maybe that becomes the home office just for a little while you're doing this, and the kitchen becomes the eating space. Recommend there. Separate your dynamics out so you can get focused on your thinking. The other side of things, what's going to happen into your relationship or to your own health, first of all, if you're going into those spaces and you're always thinking about work where you would be relaxing. Think about what's going to happen when you try and go to sleep if you're working in your bedroom. It's going to have a really disruptive effect on you. It's called the law of association. What are the things that we can do then to support this? The next elements over here, 1, separate the space, absolutely key. 2, set up a desk. If you have space to do this, as I said, if it's the corner of the kitchen, if it's the corner of the dining room, create a little pocket of workspace for yourself, okay? Make sure and then get your own setup there. So remember the things that you had on your desk while you were working in your office. So maybe you have a cacti, maybe you have a plant, maybe you have some of your stationery. Create that little section of where you work in. So when you go there, you can do the thing you need to do. Get your own kit, get your own stationery available. Make sure it's accessible to you. I'm lucky because I have an office here, I have desks, I have drawers, I have all my own equipment, I have everything I need so I can grab it when I need to. I'm not distracted, I'm not worrying about it, I'm not trying to order it. It's there, it's available for when I need it. Do not disturb. This is vital. I have a 7-year-old. Who here has got children Who here have got their children getting involved in their work? Give me a yes, yes or no in the box. Let's see who here has got children available. What I do know is from myself, the wife is the biggest issue. Kids too, busy on, yes. Why? Because there's a novelty to being here and being available. There's a novelty to being, 100% available in proximity to your children rather than at work or working away or whatever it is we're doing. As a result of this, it's very easy for those children or our partners, they have a question, something else to come out, or they just want a hug. I might be sitting here doing work. My 7-year-old daughter, we have a great relationship, and she'll just come up because she wants a hug. She just wants to say hello because she knows I'm here and she's got the opportunity to do it because I'm not working away from home. At the same time though, I'm delivering content right now. So I have to have some sort of a boundary, almost an expectation. When the door is shut, do not disturb. It means I'm working. I also create spaces where they're clearly aware of when I'm doing live broadcasts or when I'm doing interviews with some of our connections, our network, so that in the nicest possible way, Poppy doesn't get involved in those recordings. So we have to have that do not disturb so we can get focused on our work, get into it and get the work done. A couple of other elements here that are really important. One, get a Wi-Fi booster. I found that as soon as I close my door, it's not a thick door, but as soon as I do that, my connection drops down. It makes it harder for me to do work. Speak to your internet provider, they can give that to you. The other one is making sure you've got plenty of natural light. This is going to be super important. It's going to help you to think. The moment that light level starts to drop down, you then find the melatonin starts to kick in and you start to get more sluggish and sleepy, especially if you're looking at your laptop for long periods of time. Natural light, keep yourself focused, keep your attention. These are the important parts. Where are we going to next? Keep moving. Number 2, we're going to be sitting in some awkward positions. Yeah, not all of us have the luxury of having ergonomic setups, back support chairs and all this sort of thing. And we're going to find that we're going to start sort of hunching down, and our shoulders are going to start coming down. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'6". I've got my desk set up. I've got a laptop riser, but I'm still finding that I'm hunching. I'm still finding that I'm sitting down for long periods of time, and it's putting more pressure on my lower back, which is causing me more problems. Pomodoro timer, again, we teach this at MBM when we're doing the learning to learn methodologies. Set your timer for 20-25 minutes. Get up, make sure you're stretching. Do some stretches that really focus on the back to keep your spine moving and not setting in new positions which are actually going to cause you long-term pain. Who here is experiencing right now, yeses and nos in the comments, who's experiencing some more aches and pains potentially? Ideally back aches. Good suggestion there from Colin about tinfoil around the back of the router. Well, I've learned a valuable lesson about making sure my question box opens up completely. Found out how to make it. So it's vital. If we're sitting in the same position, we're going to cause more pressure on my spine. I'm not a chiropractor. I'm not an osteopath. What I do know, though, is from working from home, we get these pains. Get up, get moving, stretch, open your chest up, move your spine, roll, touch your toes, do all the things that are going to give you that momentum. But sitting in the same position is not going to help. If you're doing phone calls, if you're doing video calls, if you can do this while walking around, get up, move. Put your Bluetooth earplugs in, put the phone down, walk around, create more thinking space as you're creating your own movements. This is going to be super important, especially if we're going to be doing this for a few more weeks, which is very likely. Number 3 we've got up here, I've just titled helps. And what do I mean by helps? Is all the hacks and elements that we can put in place that we might not think about. One, get a laptop riser if you can. If you're working on a small laptop, if you can get a riser just to lift it up so that you're not hunching over it a little bit more, do it. I've got mine there. It's an IKEA one, I think. It's big. I've got a 17-inch laptop. It gives me a little bit more height and forces me up. Other elements, another great element to support on the back support. Guys, I know this is going to look a little bit strange, but this just helps to pull my shoulders back. I've found from working from home, even on a high desk with the riser, that my shoulders still come forward and I'm starting to hunch. Wearing one of these, super cheap, you can buy them from any good online store, pulls the shoulders back. You may have seen some of the guys, Dev, I think, was wearing them on at least in the last series of Strictly Come Dancing. Just creates the posture, holds us in that position, stops us from, it just helps to build the muscles at the front of the chest so that we're not pulling forward. Another useful tip, blue light glasses as well. Again, if we're spending a long time in this space, focusing on what we're doing, cut out the blue light as much as possible, especially later in the day, because you want to create more rest. This space needs to be focused and attentive, absolutely, as the day progresses on. And if you're working later in the day, get blue light glasses. They cut out the focus on this, often yellow or orange in color, help to diffuse the light so it stops mucking around with the brain mechanisms, and it allows you to sleep a little bit faster when you're going to bed as well. Another suggestion, guys, and by the way, if you've got suggestions here, I'm going to open this up to you guys as well right now while I'm talking to you. Any other suggestions that you've got to help with mobility, any other suggestions you've got to help with comfort from working at home that I don't know about, that we don't know about, share them. Get in the questions box, in the chat box, and start sharing any suggestions that you've got right now. Next useful tool for creating focus. You won't be able to hear this, but just outside my door, we have a white noise generator. And we were using this when our daughter was young, so we could cut out the noise, the background noise of cars as she was going to sleep. I now use this to help cancel out the noise of the neighbour sanding the floor, or the dogs barking outside, or my wife and daughter moving around downstairs as they're doing the homeschooling. It just helps to cancel out that noise so I can just focus on what I'm doing. If you haven't got a white noise generator, download one of the white noise apps you can get on your phone. Often parents, new parents have done this, and you may find this yourselves. Download an app, it plays white noise, so it just helps cancel out the background noise so the child can go to sleep. And you can use it as the same thing. Put it on your phone, put it next to you, press play, and away it will go on a continuous loop of background noise just to give you that background to cancel out the distractions for you. What other suggestions have we got? Miranda said my audio has disappeared. Can everyone hear me? Yep, loud and clear. Good. Miranda, that might just be your audio there. Good. Simon said he's not getting the backaches because he's exercising every day. Yes, it is an upside. Good. Colin says about putting tinfoil around the back of the router to help boost the signal, especially in the direction you're facing. So face it the way you're going, put the tinfoil out, and then focus that the signal in the direction you want to go. Fresh air. Definitely agree with this, Colin. Making sure that the spaces you've got, you're well ventilated as well. Thank you for bringing this up, Colin. Deeply appreciated. The moment that you're starting to feel yourself lagging is, potentially you just need to re-oxygenate. Shift your physiology, stand up, open the diaphragm, and take 3 to 10 deep breaths in through the nose and right into the belly. So diaphragmatic breathing. Push the air right the way down. So not inflating the chest, get it right the way down in the belly there, and really oxygenate your system to create that focus. Get up, open the door, go outside, refresh the body, refresh the thinking, come back to what you're doing. It's super important that we get this right. No, not gin. Got one suggestion here: natural light water or gin. Gin Friday, maybe Monday, Tuesday. No, let's not do this. So making sure you've got hydration in your space as well. We're setting ourselves up for success here. That's why at the beginning of this session I said, we've got a clean notepad page and we've got a drink. So we want to make sure we've got the right elements so we can just do what we need to do rather than getting caught in the procrastination and creating an excuse or a distraction so we can walk away and do something else. Get everything available there so you can create good work and get super productive in what you're doing, okay? So what have we covered today so far? The law of association. Think about where you're working and the environment you're creating that work, so create the space. 2, keep yourself moving in your space. It's very easy if we do get trapped in good work that we hunker down, we get lost in that and we don't come out of it, and when we do, actually we've locked in that position. Think about your yoga stretches, think about how you're moving, how you're twisting and how you're keeping yourself going. And 3, we've covered some helpful hints. Get the right setup, elevate your laptop, back support to create the posture, blue light glasses, also white noise to minimize the distractions that you've got going on as well. So you can use a white noise app or generator to give you some to neutralize some of those background noises which may be a distraction to what you're working on. Tin foil, exercise, a new whiteboard pen. Yes, agreed. The purple one is running out. I am going to be ordering some in the next 24 hours. Guys, in the comments, what's been useful from today? Because these are super short learnings. What's been useful from today? What are you taking away that is useful? Let me know what's worked in the chat. Just also seen a post, a comment there from Sai again. Declutter, agreed, absolutely. Eliminate all the waste, clear down the rubbish every single day so it's not sitting there accumulating. My office is busy, I've got a lot going on here because we're working very intently at the moment, but at the same time I'm still clearing down the direct vicinity of my laptop, so I've got fresh notepad, I've got fresh space to be working on. Reminder on the white noise, absolutely use it, get the app. If you haven't got the app, get the app. If you've had kids and you know what the app is, go and grab it. Just get it on the background. Good, Colin. Colin said that his setup is aligned with top tips. Someone's done it unconsciously. Good, make it conscious. Share these ideas with people. There are going to be plenty of people out there that don't know any of this stuff consciously, unconsciously, and are sitting there giving themselves a backache. So by the time they actually do go back to work, they're going to need a medical assistance to actually make sure they're doing that in the most productive way. Now, sitting down is going to be one of the biggest killers, or is currently becoming one of the biggest killers in office spaces due to lack of movement and also how it's messing with us in the muscular skeletal fashion. Wi-Fi plugs works very well to hardware. Yeah, if you've got the access to those ports, do this as well. Guys, I hope that was useful. What questions have you got for me right now around today's session or any more of the sessions that we've so far covered? What questions have you got for me that I can help with and that's going to help you improve the way that you're working from home? Just looking to see where these questions are coming up. Good. Yeah, do share some of these things. Good side. Yeah, go back and share some of this stuff. Any of these key tips that help your guys, share it. I'm not fussed if you credit me or not, or you go and take all the credit for it. Just share it with them. If it helps them and helps them to work better with deeper attention, please do it. Absolutely. Another suggestion here from Colin: nice weather, so hang out the washing, stretch your shoulders, gets you bending. Agreed. Just making sure I'm getting all these comments that are coming through. There's something about setting realistic goals for each work session. Yes. Whatever you're working in or working on, set yourself a timer for it and be realistic with what you're getting done in that space. At the same time, managing the expectations. I need to get up and move every 20 to 25 minutes to make sure physically and mentally I'm refreshing myself. So set yourself realistic objectives in that, okay, where do I want to zero out the distraction? How do I want to make sure it's done? What am I going to get done in the next 20, 30 minutes? Okay, work on that. Set your milestones. Now, it's like one of those stair climbers. We're going to take one step at a time to make sure we get where we need to get to. The moment you start overreaching and going for 2, 3 stair climbs up, you're going to be overstretching yourself mentally and physically, and it's not going to become, you're not going to be able to get the tension you need in order to make that next step really clearly. Break it down into clear chunks. Good suggestion. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, I really hope that this is useful. We have another training. We're going to do this every single day until we come out of this situation. Tomorrow, we're going to be focusing on the E from the mindset mnemonic. It's going to be about emotions, how to deal with your emotions as they come up, how to talk about those emotions as they come up, how to process them so you can make the most of them. We're going to be covering off emotions tomorrow. If you haven't registered, please dive into the registration page as soon as this finishes and register for your place for tomorrow's session as well, where we're going to be covering 20 minutes of core learning around emotions. Also, if this content is useful, tell your friends. Tell your colleagues, get them connected into this, because if this is useful for you, then in the elements I'm sharing, it's going to be useful for them as well. It's live, it's free, get them involved. Registration link is right there in the chat box for you to connect with. The other thing as well, which I've talked about in last week's sessions as well, is you can pick up your coaching cue cards now. We've got them on the MBM shopping page. It's there. If any of you are leaders, if any of you are starting coaching, if any of you want to support your own personal development, there is a deck of cards there with 80 questions that are going to help you start to finish, set goals, work out where you are, work out how you're going to get there, and then take the action to make it happen. Right now, those cards are currently sitting at £5. Huge value for 80 questions. Click through. You want to pick your copy up, your pack up there, please do. I'd love to hear your feedback on the session from today. I would love to hear your feedback on the session of the coaching cards as well, and find out how they are helping you be the best version of who you are. Everyone, have a lovely rest of your day, and I will connect with you guys again at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Cheers. Bye.